Home is not always a place. Sometimes it is a feeling that settles quietly in the chest, a softness the world rarely offers. Some people move through cities, friendships, even celebrations, yet feel most alive only when the door closes behind them, when noise dissolves, when expectations loosen their grip. This happiness is often misunderstood, mistaken for avoidance, labeled as loneliness or fear. But beneath it lives recognition, a deep, unspoken knowing that safety matters more than stimulation. Early on, they learn to listen inward, to notice how crowds drained something essential, how constant performance demanded invisible energy. At home, no one is watching closely. No one is measuring responses or timing smiles. The nervous system exhales. This is where the story begins. Not with escape, but with awareness. A quiet preference forming before it had language, a bond with stillness, a loyalty to inner equilibrium. It feels safe. It feels honest. It feels like rest after long vigilance. Here, nothing must be proven. Existence alone is enough. This quiet joy does not ask permission. It simply waits, patient and kind, within familiar walls. This attachment to home often traces back to early emotional climates, spaces where unpredictability required constant alertness, where attention felt conditional, and quiet felt safer. The mind adapted carefully, learning to read expressions, to anticipate shifts, to prepare before anything broke. Over time, the body remembered these lessons. Crowds became effort, social energy became expensive, solitude became control. Psychology names this nervous system conditioning. A body trained to protect itself through familiarity, to favor parasympathetic calm over constant activation. Home offered regulation, a place where hypervigilance could finally soften. Yet conflict lives here as well, a longing for connection, a simultaneous fear of depletion. They may wonder if comfort means stagnation, if preference hides limitation. But science is quiet and precise. Safety is not weakness. Rest is not avoidance. The brain seeks environments where energy loss is minimal, where identity does not require performance. This is not retreat. It is adaptation, a system preserving what it once learned was fragile, rewarding familiarity with calm, teaching survival through stillness rather than noise. With time, a realization forms without urgency. Happiness does not demand constant expansion. Fulfillment does not need spectacle. Home becomes a mirror rather than a refuge, reflecting values, limits, and emotional rhythm. Healing does not mean abandoning comfort. It means understanding why comfort became necessary. Integration happens quietly, when staying in feels chosen, not compulsory. When solitude restores rather than isolates, the inner conflict softens. Connection becomes intentional. Energy is spent where it returns. There is room for others now, because the self is no longer depleted. Psychologically, this is regulation achieved, a nervous system no longer negotiating safety. Humanly, it is peace. The door can open again, not from restlessness, but from fullness. Home remains sacred, not as a boundary against life, but as a place that teaches how to meet it. Happiness, once misunderstood, reveals its truth. It was never about hiding. It was about being held, where walls witness growth, where silence becomes companionship, where the inner world is finally allowed to rest. Peace is not always found by going outward, but by finally listening inward. Subscribe for more calm, psychological documentary narratives that explore the quiet truths of being human.